Hello, everybody. Who we got today, y'all? It's time for the show. Time for the show. Excited about talking to you peeps today. Sit down. Don't start. Who we got here? I see one friend. Hello. I don't know. I can't see who you are, but I'm glad that you're here. Good to see you. Good to see the one that just joined. How y'all been? Wave at me. Let me know who we got here. Y'all say a little something, because you know my feed is slow when I'm trying to see who's all in the room. You guys, for those of you that are here, hi Angie. This is Maverick City Music, and this is My Heart, Your Home. I've been going through this entire record and just finding a new bop every other song, but this Heart, Your Home is my raspberry jam. You hear me? Hey with me. Hi, Diane. How are you? Who else we got in the room? I see 11 of us. Stay with me. Y'all have to excuse the sloppy outfit. I've been seeing a trainer, and my arms are too sore to change shirts. What up, Warren? What's up, cuz? How are you, babe? It's good to see you, baby. Hi, Rebecca. Stay with me. Y'all, this trainer, her name is Miss Tina. She is brutal. And today, I went to my girl Mandisa's house, and she's training. We're training together. We thought we were going to literally pass away right in her, just in our house. It's good. It's good. But when I tell you, like, parts of me hurt that I didn't even know could hurt. Hey, Sharian. Auntie Sharian's here. She said hi. You know your auntie. Yeah, parts of my body that I don't even...
Hi, Auntie Sharian.
The baby says, hey. Parts of my body that I didn't even know could tremble are like... Sharian, we've been praying for Reggie. Hi, Dad. Granddaddy said, hey, Yaya. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
I said, you talking to all my friends? I just said Granddaddy. I'll be greeting all my people now. All right, folks. What's good? I'm going to jump on. It's good to see you. It feels like anytime I take a week away, it feels like it's been so much longer. But we were just away from each other 1 week, right? Or was it 2? This, all of a sudden, it's just gotten crazy. Jeremy, don't come on here starting with me already. I just started saying hello. You harassing me.
Why is it
Sit down, be quiet, do your thing, do your thing. What was I about to say? So for me, in my little line of work, well, really everybody's line of work is a little bit touch and go right now, but for me, particularly in the music industry, everything is kind of, it was already feast or famine. Like, you either have all of the work or you have none of the work. But all of a sudden, I went from having one, hi Lolita, hi Twinks, having basically one solid gig to having like 5, to then having 1 again, and now I'm at like 4. But all of them are in the same like 8-day period. And so I'm like, I'm excited because, you know, we love to be able to pay bills. Hallelujah. But when I tell you, I am exhausted and there's just all these things happening. So that's a good thing. But when I'm just like, what's happening? Who? What?
Why is this speaking red, Mom?
I don't know. Okay, so for that purpose, I'll be like, I'm going to have my show on Wednesday, and then it'll be like, hey, can you work? And I'm like, well, crap, I can't have a show on Wednesday because I'm going to do this. So anyway, I apologize for having had to cancel last week. But when I tell you we out here trying to pay the rent, I know y'all get it. I know y'all understand. But I do love... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so I'm hearing myself in post, and that's weird. But I do love any time that we're able to to chit chat. So thank you for being here today. I asked you wonderful people to ask me anything. And I was afraid because I know y'all. I know my people. And I thought y'all were gonna come with some crazy stuff. For the most part, you guys were pretty good. You did all right. You did all right. I got some stuff I just can't even really get into in my DMs. Stuff that's just gonna take prayer and fasting and supplication and a caucus in Congress. Hey, Michael, what you doing? You still think I'm hot? Listen, I'm hot because I'm having hot flashes. Because working out at 40 is a completely different situation than it was when I lived in Houston. You know, I was 23, 22 years old when I lived in Houston. We out here grown, Mike. Like, who let us do this? Yeah, y'all. So I was afraid of what I was going to get. But y'all kind of, for the most part, kept it around the same subject matter. A lot of political stuff. Well, yeah, not really political stuff, but yeah, a little bit. So here we go. My boy John Cavazos, knowing how much I loathe feet. Hi, Matt. Hi, Kelly. Knowing how much I cannot stand feet. Ask how I feel about toe jam. I knew I was going to get something about feet, eggs, or seafood. I knew it was coming. Toe jam is a condition that I do not suffer from, but I feel very sorry, not for the ones who suffer from it, but for the ones who love them, because I feel like that has to just stink. And if you are in a relationship with someone with an abundance of toe jam, you got a lot of, I don't even know how you love that selflessly. I'm leaving. You got toe jam, I'm out. I'm not doing this. I'm petty. I'm not cleaning in betwixt your toes. I ain't polishing them. I ain't buffing them. I ain't doing I'm not scooping jam from the betwixt. So yeah, I just kind of feel like more power to y'all. How do you feel about toe jam? Blech. So nasty. And you know, because you guys love me so much, some at least 4 times a month, I get pictures, just random texts from friends who will send me god-awful pictures of feet. Just toenails growing up underneath toes. Like, y'all are mean, but these are the ones that God has given me to call myself friends with, and y'all are mean. B, what did you say? What are we talking about, girl? Right now, I'm answering questions, and my friend asked me how I feel about toe jam. You're going to have to stop. You're going to have to be quiet because mommy's doing this. Good job. It's very pretty. My sister said, Paige said, she's here as Zipporah, but I call her Paige. Can you give me a petty? I can give you a petty kit, a petty coat. I can introduce you to a petty crime specialist, but I ain't touching your nasty feet. Love is what it does. You so right, Dad. I don't love nobody that much. I just don't. My baby. I think she might be at the point where I'm about done with her feet. I thought it would happen when she was about 8, but it might be a little sooner. I don't know. Okay, next question. My dad actually asked me, what have you missed most this year and why? That's kind of I don't know. There's some layers to that. I really truly miss traveling and being able to sing in the same way. Like, you know, large crowds and big gatherings are completely out of the window. So that's Jenny turned on to petticoats. Yeah, so my whole career kind of got, well, 3/4 of it got shut down because a lot of what we do is in arenas and big, huge churches or, you know, conference centers and all of that. So I have not been able to do that. And it's not even really just singing. It's the camaraderie. Like the folks that I'm on the road with, I've been traveling with for, in some cases, 16 years. And so we, like, for example, with the Beth Moore thing, we did 2 of our Beth Moore events before the world shut down. And so for 16 years, I have, for about 7 months, 8 months out of the year, every other weekend been on the road with these people. And we're a family, and we just have not had each other. And then there is something very special about live music and being able to kind of to worship God in that way, but to express in that way, and also the I don't want to say energy because sometimes that feels a little, I don't know, mystical, but there is an exchange between the congregation or an audience and you. And honestly, I get a lot of fun stories and get to touch base with people. And a lot of folks that are now on this thread are people that I might have met one time at something I sang at, and we've become buddies and have just stayed in each other's space. So I do miss that. Oh, sis, you miss hugs. Yeah. Yeah. Jamie said Petty Pendergrass, Petty Ruxpin, Petty Riley. I don't need everybody touching me, but I do miss togetherness, and just kind of the haphazardness of like, hey, what are y'all doing? Y'all want to get together and go eat somewhere? Just all of that stuff, like all that's just been shut down. Everything is like, you can't. It's just irresponsible to, or you just flat couldn't. And so, there is that. My income definitely misses my travel schedule and my music schedule as well. Thank God that the studio session scene has kind of been readjusted so that we're able to do what we do safely. We just did a big old session for Disney not too long ago, and we were 12 feet apart from each other. Usually there's like 4 of us on each mic, 3 or 4 people on each mic. We were 12 feet apart from each other, huge partitions, masked at all times except for when we were singing on the mic, and you're so far away from each other, so if you were singing, any projectile situations weren't going to hit anybody else. And that was cool. And so, just kind of rolling with the punches. But I will be happy when we get to whatever the new normal will be, and it's a little more relaxed and we can, breathe. I got a trip this weekend. I'm actually flying to New York, and I have only flown a couple of times during all of this mess, and I am not looking forward to hoofing it across airports with that doggone mask on. I hate it. But anyway, okay, what's the next question? Jeremy, I'm going to need to spend some time with your question. I know you are watching and waiting. I'm going to have to spend time before I answer that, truly. My girl Kelly, are you letting yourself enjoy and bask in your heart for a moment to have yourself represented in the highest office of our country? Girl, if you can pop some bubbly and bask, I'll send you a bottle. You know what? I don't know if I'm basking, but I'm definitely excited. I really, really am. I'm very, I'm very excited. And honestly, it's so hard for many folks who are white or other, and who haven't been in a space where you don't see much of yourself represented, or seeing yourself in high positions is very rare. It's like when Obama won, there were many of us, not every black person voted for Obama, just so you know. But what I found was whether or not a person voted for them or not, the moment was so weighty, because for once, all of a sudden, you looked in the highest office in the land and saw somebody that looked like you, when the only thing you've ever really been taught is that it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could legally, but it probably won't. So yeah, to have really a threefer, I mean, she knocked it out. She's the first woman. She's the first black woman. She's also of Indian descent. That's big. And I'm elated. She's also my mom's soror and AKA, so double whammy, triple whammy. So yeah, but, I am immersed in a culture that is a little bit different than my own. And so a lot of times I don't just get to click my heels and say everything I want to say. Now I'm going to say how I feel it when, when it's appropriate. But, I kind of have to be mindful of a lot of factors. So I don't just be like, "Ah!" But I did say, history was made, and I meant that, and I'm excited about it. So I feel like some things go outside of politics and how you feel, truly, and that is just that. Okay, and I think now we're about to get to the thick of things. Okay, my boy Jeremy, he and I went to college together. Not Jeremy, the one that's asking for me to answer his question. My other friend Jeremy, we call him Jay. And I went to college together, and my college, if you don't know, was predominantly white. There was, at the time that we were there, 26 black students, probably 100 total minority students. Only 8 of the black students were American. So, a white school. And so he's asking this: how do you feel about white evangelicals and their non-acknowledgments about social issues that concern their non-white members that attend/support their ministries? And what is your take on those non-white church members that still stay and attend those churches? Whew. Okay, so how do I feel? How do you feel about white evangelicals and their non-acknowledgments about social issues? That hurts. It sucks. It truly sucks. I think my parents and I started going to a predominantly white church somewhere with Dad. What was I, 15, 16? And that was the first time I was really made aware of the differences in just perspective. My parents are independent. They vote for who they best feel or feel best will do the job. We're not really, we didn't come up just loyal to a party. So it's never really been about black or white or Democrat or Republican. It's been, who do we think best addresses the issues that matter to us. It does often happen that the Democrats seem to pull that line a little more often. But I'm right down the middle. There's certain things that I'm pretty conservative on. There's other things that I'm a little left on. But for me, going to predominantly white churches, all of a sudden, it felt like it was assumed that, one, Jesus was lily white, blonde-haired, blue eyes, and of Nordic descent, and that he was a staunch Republican. And I had never in my life ever even thought to put Jesus with a political party. It just never even made sense to me. Like, why? Just why? And so I've been kind of pushing through that the rest of my life. I will say that it's not comfortable. It is not easy. But what I feel, to go to what's your take on those white folks who stay at these churches? For me, it feels like an assignment sometimes, because as I've often said to you, I kind of have found myself to be the only caramel drizzle on top of the milkshake or the only chocolate chip in the cookie sometimes. And I am the only one a lot of times with a varying opinion or with a different opinion or with a different social experience. And so if it's going to change, it's going to take people like myself who, I'm not saying everybody should just go to the whitest church they can find and Rosa Parks in the pew. But I'm saying, if you find yourself placed in a space where you are a minority and you're looking around and the things that you see do not reflect your best interests, you need to pray. And then if you feel like God is telling you to sit and stay there, you got to dig in. And for what I have been assigned to in this season, bringing reconciliation and voicing a different view, a different opinion, that's what I'm doing right now. And what I'm finding is that it's hard, but it is rewarding because there are, as much as I would like to, as much as sometimes it feels like no one cares and everybody just believes this way and I'm the outsider, it's not true. And there are a lot of people who have never been exposed to Black people or to Spanish folks or to brown folks. They don't know our experience. They have no idea. They are voting and thinking of their own social experience and their family upbringing and all of that. And that's what we all do. There are many, though, who particularly in this season want to be informed and want to get it. And so I stay because that's what I'm assigned to do in this season. Is it easy? No. No, not at all. And for me, cultural diversity is everything. I really don't want to be in an all-Black church. I want to be where everybody is everybody, with everybody. I was in a pretty multicultural church in Orlando for 8 or 9 years. And, you know, I had Yasmin Rose there, and she was just starting to walk and all of that stuff and kind of find her way around before we moved here. But then I moved back here, and Nashville is it's a diverse city overall, but it's pretty separate. And so I'm at a heavily white church. There's a lot of everybody, but in leadership, we have one Black pastor. There's myself on the worship team staff. And there's others, but if you were just going to walk in and look at it as a minority, you're probably just going to say it's a white church. And in general, I am so well loved and accepted, and there are a lot of people who feel the exact same way as I do, but there are a lot of people who don't. And for me as a minister, it is not always just about what I can get. You want to be fed where you are. You want to have community. You want to have a place where you feel like your children will be loved and accepted and all of that. But it's not just about what I can get. It is often about what I'm supposed to do and who I'm supposed to be in any space that I'm in. So I can't say that all minorities that find themselves in white churches should leave if they don't hear their issues being addressed. But I think you need to begin to pray and seek a means to be an agent of change and see how you can affect that community in a godly way. Yeah? Does that make any sense? Does that make sense? What did somebody say? Next time you're in Virginia Beach, I expect to visit. Oh my gosh, I need to get to Virginia. It's been a long time since we were there. My sister said people like to put God in a box. That's exactly right. I feel like, it does take humility. You gotta die to yourself a lot if you are in a world like I am. I cannot just always fly off at the mouth with the first thing that comes to me because someone has said something ignorant. Now, I will say that probably turning 40 and the pandemic and the social climate with, all of the things we've been hit with police brutality and all of the stuff we've been hit with in this, 7 or 8 month period. There is a new boldness on me that I think I was maybe afraid to step into. Because I didn't want to ruffle feathers. I did not want to see certain things that I knew that I would see. There are a lot of people I know that love me because I sing pretty. I'm a little bit funny. I seem to always be having a good time. I don't make it hard for them. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that at the end of the day, we probably are on completely different ends of the spectrum. And they might feel a way that would offend me if we really started to uncover some stuff. So I will say that I just would keep my nose down, and if I would see certain things, I would turn the other cheek, go that way. And I think there was a time and season for that. Right now, though, I I don't feel that that's what God is asking me to do. I actually think it's a little bit of the opposite. And I think I'm more prepared and mature enough to handle the pushback better than I would have been in my early 20s or in college. But it really is not easy. I mean, I asked for it because I asked you guys if you would be interested in this show format, because it was kind of happening anyway. My inbox stays full from people who would feel safe to ask me questions that they probably wouldn't ask others or didn't have others in their space to ask. And a lot of times the questions would be like, what you said to me? So it was already happening. So when I asked you guys to join me in this 3:00 hour on Wednesdays, I was really kind of inviting more of that. Now, what I will say is, since I made that invitation, woo! I've lost friends. I've been accused of race baiting and, black card playing and just all this foolishness. And that's been hurtful. It's been more upsetting because it's like, are you joking? Like, you're that way? Like, you're that way too? But there's no part of me that's going to back down. And also there are a lot of my minority friends that don't feel like I'm vocal enough, or that I take too much, or I allow people to ask me questions that they need to go and Google it and read a book on their own time. So, you're never really going to make everybody happy. And there is a little bit of that. I'm not going to answer every question because not every question is posed genuinely. But in general, if you really want to know and your heart is genuine, I can sense that. And I would love to try to address things or help you see from a different point of view. And I'm not of the opinion that just because I say it, you're going to see it. But it's about planting seeds. You just don't know until you know. And sometimes someone coming in that looks a little bit different from you, or has a different opinion, different life experience from you, saying things, you begin to just see things that you would not have seen before. And so that's kind of what I do and why. What are you saying, Paigey Poo? When you are your true self, you will know who your true friends are. Period. And, everybody's not going to be your friend. So I'm cool with that. But I want to be faithful to whatever my assignment is in any given moment. And I don't always do that, but I really, really aim to, I really, really aspire to. So that's kind of my perspective. That's why I stay a lot of places. That's why I do what I do. I'm not always with a whole bunch of white folks, but when I am, I need a beer. No, I'm just joking. When I am, know that I'm very aware of all of the things. And, that's kind of where I'm coming from. All right, next question. And it's 2 minutes till done time. So this will be our last question. Because I think I said, when I posed this question to you guys, I said, okay, folks, this week's show is Ask Me Anything Day at the Apollo. Drop your questions. So one of my friends said, have you ever sang at the Apollo? If so, what did you sing? And if not, what would you sing? I have never been on the Apollo, but Dad, didn't I audition, or was I going to audition? My dad, I'm glad we raised you and your siblings to live among all people. Dad, do you remember, I feel like I auditioned for the Apollo, or we were about to. Because I remember the conversation about, like, now listen, they will boo you. The Apollo is not what you, it's not for the faint of heart. I was young. I was a teenager, I think, or a preteen. And I either auditioned or was about to, and something was going on at that time. But no, I've never been on the Apollo. What would you sing? Oh, gosh. I have no idea. I got no idea. I would probably sing... What's that song? There's a place for us somewhere. I feel like I always wanted to sing that on a stage like that. I never got to do the Apollo, but 50 bajillion years ago when I was in high school, I got to sing for a Knicks game, a playoff game. I sang the anthem it was the playoff game in '98 between the the Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks. And that same weekend, I got to debut at the Cotton Club. And so for me, they did a gospel brunch and a jazz brunch, and I got to sing at both of those sets. And I think I did 2 songs at each set. Oh my gosh. I thought, oh, I'm a full-on star, okay? Lena Horne, Billie Holiday, all of these incredible greats were all over the wall. This is where they got their start, and I'm carrying my narrow butt in here singing His Eye is on the Sparrow or whatever I sang. Honey, you could not have told me. You couldn't tell me nothing that day in my long Whitney Houston crushed velvet body-hugging dress with buttons that came up the leg to the thigh and some big old square chunky heels. Just killing it. I think the heels came from merry-go-round. I was famous for 6 hours. But no, not the Apollo. I honestly don't know if I have the cojones to do it now. When I was a kid, I was a little more fearless and kind of competing and doing stuff all the time. Now I'm a scaredy cat, and I just want to sing for people who like me already. Okay? I don't want to have to prove to you or be accepted about, just let me sing to you, you smile, go on your way. I don't want no boos. I don't want a potential of a boo. The only boo I want is a dude. Okay? That's all I'm going to go for in the way of boos. Sing Whoop, there it is. And the crowd will be mad hype and then remix it with Kirk Franklin. Can't even go there. All right, y'all. It's 3:32. I love you guys. Brooklyn Tab. I'm singing at Brooklyn Tab this weekend, Dad. I didn't even get to tell you because it just happened. I'm going to do, they're doing a Christmas taping. They're not having service. They're just taping their concert that they're going to do for Brooklyn Tab. And I get to sing a duet with Taranda Green, who is one of my favorite vocalists on the planet. So that's like, yeah. But again, there will be nobody there to boo me. So God be praised. All right, you guys. I love you so much. Thank you for enduring my shoulders and my hat. I put a little liner on because I looked woo. One of my friends said, hey, put your little shoulder away. So if y'all saw me adjusting, that's what was going on. I love you guys so much. Next week, let us see. Let's look at this schedule, Lord. I think, are we together next week? Next week is the 24th. Oh, you guys, see, this is what the Rona done did. Had all of this foolishness not happened, the following weekend, the weekend of the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, I was going to be a featured soloist at Carnegie Hall. It was going to be a big, huge thing. But no. But funny, I'm still going to be in Brooklyn. Still going to be in New York. Okay, I did all of that to see about next week, the 18th. We will need to see about the 18th because I got a travel day. I'll be coming back from Houston that day, but I will keep you posted. And then if anything, we'll just pick back up after Thanksgiving, give you some time to eat and be with your people and enjoy each other's presence and all of that stuff from a safe social distance. Y'all do what you need to do, get your stuff in, and, keep it moving. But anyway, I love you so much. Thank you guys for being here. Pray my strength in the Lord so that I can lift my hands further than I can't lift my arms, y'all. I'm in pain. The trainer tried to kill me. But I think I grew like a 1/4 of an ab. I felt one sprout today. So you won't be able to see it though. It's under a lot of fat. But I definitely felt so I'm going to keep pushing. Y'all have a great Thursday. Nope. Have a great Wednesday. Have a great tomorrow. If you're going to be at the Lifeways Women's Forum today, Thursday and Friday, I will see you there. The rest of you guys, I will see online. Love you all. Say bye, Yaya. Bye. She did good today, right? I only had to threaten her with about 4,000 spankings, but God be praised. Okay, bye.